You're lying in bed, lights off, phone finally on the nightstand. The house is quiet, but your mind isn't. The same conversation from last week starts playing again, word for word, like the world's least helpful replay button. You tell yourself, I'll just think this through one more time. 30 minutes later, nothing is solved, and you're even more awake. Here's the small reveal. The problem isn't that you worry. It's that your mind is stuck in a loop that looks like problem solving but never actually lands in real life. There's a simple move that starts loosening this loop. But first, it helps to see what's actually happening when your brain keeps hitting repeat. When something feels unfinished, risky, or embarrassing, your mind treats it like an open tab that can't be closed. So it keeps bringing it back, hoping that if you replay it just right, you'll finally feel safe, prepared, or forgiven. It's like a browser with the same 3 tabs reloading again and again, draining your battery. At first, this can feel responsible. I'm just being careful, I'm making sure. But instead of leading to action, the loop keeps you in your head. You go over the same sentence you said, the same future scenario, the same what if. The more time you spend there, the more exhausted you feel in the rest of your life. Picture Jamie, standing in the shower before work. Water running, hot steam, and instead of feeling calm, Jamie is re-arguing last night's conversation with a friend. 10 minutes go by. Nothing changes in the real relationship, but the tension in Jamie's chest is higher than when the shower started. Here's the part most people miss. The loop survives because of how you treat the thought, not because of the thought itself. One mechanism is treating every uncomfortable thought as urgent. A random, "What if I said the wrong thing?" shows up, and immediately it becomes, "I have to figure this out right now." That urgency feeling tricks you into staying with it, even when nothing useful is happening. Another mechanism is believing that more thinking equals more safety. It feels like if you keep turning the situation over, you're being careful, responsible, prepared. In reality, after a certain point, you're not gathering new information. You're just circling the same track. A third mechanism is letting what-if questions run without limits. The mind starts with, what if I messed this up? And instead of stopping, it branches. What if they're mad? What if I lose my job? What if this ruins everything? Without a clear endpoint, the chain keeps expanding. And then there's the habit of checking your emotional state as a test. You notice, do I feel okay yet? Do I feel calm yet? Every time you check, you wake the loop back up. It's like poking a fire that was starting to cool down. You can probably see yourself in at least one of these. So the question becomes, what makes the loop stronger without you realizing? One common mistake is arguing with every single worry. A thought says, "You sounded stupid," and you immediately answer it, defend yourself, explain the situation in your head again. It feels like you're standing up to the thought, but you're still playing the same game, on its terms. Another mistake is promising yourself just one last round of overthinking before you move on. You say, "Okay, I'll think about this for 5 more minutes, then I'll stop." But there's always one more angle, one more, "But what about?" And the loop extends into the next hour. A third mistake is using distraction as your only tool. You scroll, snack, or text someone to avoid the discomfort. Your attention leaves the loop for a moment, but you never actually change how you relate to the thought. So the next quiet moment, it comes back exactly the same. Think about Jamie again, sitting on the couch that night, scrolling through social media. Every few posts, the argument pops back in. Jamie scrolls faster, turns on a show, maybe grabs a snack, not because of hunger, but to drown the replay. The distraction works briefly, but as soon as the episode ends, the loop is right there waiting. So instead of trying to win against every single thought, it helps to have a small, repeatable ritual, not to erase thoughts, but to change the amount of time and energy they're allowed to take. Step 1. Name the loop. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and the same 3 worries about tomorrow's meeting keep circling. Instead of diving into them, you quietly say to yourself, "This is a loop, not a solution." You're not arguing with the content. You're labeling the pattern. In that moment, you shift from "this thought is urgent and true" to "this is my brain doing the thing it always does when it feels unsafe." Expected effect. The thought loses a little of its authority, and you create just enough distance to choose your next move. Step 2. Cut the thread. Once you've named it, you gently park the loop and step into something small in the real world. For example, you're replaying a work email at your desk, feeling that pull to reread it for the 10th time. You say, "Loop," close the tab, and write one concrete action. Draft the next email, outline tomorrow's task, or stand up and refill your water. You're not solving the entire problem. You're cutting the mental thread that keeps you spinning and tying it to one simple, visible action. Expected effect. Your attention leaves the endless replay and lands on something you can actually influence. Step 3. Reset on repeat. Loops don't disappear after one try. During the day, you build in tiny check-ins. Walking from your car to the store, you notice your mind has drifted back to the same old, "What if they're mad at me?" Immediately, you run the same move. Name the loop, cut the thread, choose a small action like focusing on what you need to buy or feeling your feet on the ground. You're teaching your brain a new pattern by repetition, not by force. Expected effect. Loops still start, but you catch them earlier, and they take less of your time before you shift out. This is where Jamie starts to notice a change. In the shower the next morning, the argument comes up again. Instead of replaying the whole thing, Jamie recognizes loop. Then, instead of trying to rewrite the conversation, Jamie focuses on the feeling of the water and decides on one real-world step. Send a short, calm text later if it still matters. Here's the twist. You don't need to stop the first thought from arriving. The power is in what happens after the first repetition. To support this, it helps to have a few small tools that fit into real moments of your day. First micro tool: signal, gesture, consequence. Signal. You notice a specific thought has shown up for the 3rd or 4th time today. What if I messed up that project? Gesture. You quietly say, "loop," in your head. Then look around and name 3 objects you can see. Lamp, window, chair. Visible consequence. Your attention reconnects with the room you're actually in, and for a second the replay loses momentum. Second micro tool: signal, gesture, consequence. Signal. You feel yourself sliding into a "what if" spiral about the future. What if I lose this job? What if I can't handle it? Gesture. You write the main sentence down on paper and circle only what can be influenced today. Maybe it's "review my notes for 10 minutes" or "send one clarifying email." Then you choose just that one step. Visible consequence. The endless branch of hypothetical futures narrows into a single, small action in the present. Third micro tool: signal, gesture, consequence. Signal. You're stuck rewatching a past mistake, feeling it pull you in again. Gesture. You set a 2-minute timer and give the replay permission to run until the timer ends. When it does, you stand up and physically change rooms or positions. Visible consequence. You create a clear edge around the replay, so it's not spread silently across the whole evening. Notice that none of these tools require you to like your thoughts or to suddenly feel peaceful. They're designed for a tired brain at 11:30 p.m. when you don't have energy for anything complicated. Have you ever treated certain places as your thinking zones? Bed, shower, commute, like they're the designated time to finally sort out your life in your head? This is another subtle loop feeder. The body enters that place and instantly the mind says, Okay, time for replay. One small adjustment. When you notice that pattern, you run step 1 and step 2 again. In bed, this is a loop, not a solution. Then you cut the thread by gently shifting your attention to a neutral anchor. The feeling of the pillow, the sound of the fan, the weight of the blanket on your legs. You're not trying to force sleep. You're just not giving the loop free rent in that space. Most people aim for 0 uncomfortable thoughts and feel like they're failing when the same worries appear again. It's more realistic to expect. The thoughts come, sometimes often, especially when you're stressed. The difference now is that they don't get unlimited airtime. Think of your mind like a music player. You can't fully control what songs get suggested, but you can control how long a song stays on repeat. Naming the loop is like noticing, oh, this track again. Cutting the thread is you pressing next and doing something your future self can see. Over time, your brain learns that replaying the same scene isn't the main way you respond to discomfort anymore. Small actions, small shifts of attention, small boundaries with your own thoughts start to become the default. These thoughts may still show up, especially when you're tired, stressed, or alone with your mind. But now the question isn't how to erase them. It's how much time and energy they actually deserve. And as you practice these small moves, you're not doing it alone. This is simply part of how many human minds work, including yours, and there's room to work with it slowly.